this is Gary Kayye. We're here at InfoComm 2024. I'm in the Televic booth, obviously, with Vice President Peter Papageorge, who's the second most known person in the industry.
After you.
No, not after me. No.
Good.
Hey, good to see you again.
Yeah, thank you,
we're going to do a booth tour
Yeah.
of Televic. But first, before we do that, I want to understand your positioning, because there's a lot of mic companies, a lot of audio companies here.
Yeah.
You have a unique differentiation
We do.
that I really think is important.
Right.
That really was popular in Europe for a long time and is now finally getting here thanks to COVID.
It only took 30 years, but we're finally here. Yes,
Yeah.
US. All right. So yeah, you know, our history, obviously, with managed meetings and discussion systems and phoning and language interpretation, that's really what we do, and we do it very, very well.
Yeah.
So large institutions, United Nations, NATO, the State Department, lots of applications like this.
Yeah.
But this show is a good example of how we branched into general AV. So that's kind of what we're going to show you today.
Yeah, and so you still have the discussion systems, you still have all the other stuff, but what we're going to show you is kind of cool. We're going to take you on a booth tour, and we're actually going to shoot individual product videos on each one of these stations too. So we're going to tease you a little bit about what you're showing, but you can go back to raypubs.com/infocom, type in Televic in the video search window, and you'll find these individual product videos. But you're going to show us some of the technology that's really making a difference here and sort of what's differentiating.
So let's go
because
here.
people know you. I know you years, 15, 20 years ago for these microphones here.
Yeah, so take this concept. This is everything that we do as a microphone and built-in speaker. But at this station, what we're showing is wired and wireless. That's wired, this is wireless. And you go, what do you mean wireless? Batteries, 12 hours times 2, 24 hours. So you sit here and go, the applications here are like I mentioned, 3 in 1. If I want to have a wired total solution, or I need a flexible wireless, but now we can couple them together. So what you'll see as a booth tour, you'll see our engine that brings them together. You have basically the actual battery.
Yeah.
So if I said I want to be able to have charger, I want 10 batteries in one. I want to be able to charge them efficiently in small space. So now we're getting into all those verticals.
But they
that
work
require.
exactly the same way.
Oh, they look exactly the same way. Yeah.
So I guess the idea is it makes sense to put in a wired system where I'm never going to change anything.
Exactly.
Wireless is ad hoc, and I can turn any environment into a discussion or a conference.
You know, I
environment.
think about one of the examples is a wired dais, right? You have a wired system, the dais never changes, they're never going to move. But then I want to have a standalone 10-pack that I can bring in and expand it when I want to.
Yeah.
I can add it, I can use it as a standalone. And then those multiple rooms, those divided rooms in every vertical market. I have hundreds of these, and I can place them and have them mix and match with, on its own system, audio, or with room audio and all the above. So we get all the above.
This is what I've known Televic for years, and you can learn more about it at televic.com.
Yeah.
But what I think is kind of cool is how you've morphed the company into. A lot of people have been trying to figure out how to solve audio in meeting rooms and any kind of facility, and you're like, I know how to solve it. Mic everyone. That's right. I mean, that's basically.
You know what? And a lot of people say, no, I don't want to see anything.
Right.
The pandemic changed it, meaning, and there's no one size fits all.
Right.
But when people needed communication and they needed to be able to say, I want to be able to hold this into where people can hear, communication trumped cosmetics.
Right. So the making sure people could be understood was more important than the way it looked.
Yeah, exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
So what is this here?
All right, this is cool. So this brings us to a new system that's our plug-and-play Discerno system. We upgraded the engine to be able to be, I want simplicity for the end user. Now what that means is we have two people we want to take care of, our end user customers that use them and our integrator partners that design systems and integrate.
Yeah.
So we took our basic system and we said, we're going to give you an engine. And that engine basically now allows us, in fact, let me grab that, excuse me 1 second. So ideally you go, here's an engine that has all the necessary I/O, balance and an EA67 and our bridge for all of our ports. But there's USBs, there's 2 USBs, and you go, that's new.
Okay, so that could accommodate a separate mic system or a speaker system in the room or a computer?
I would say UC computer, Teams and Zoom.
Okay.
The #1 request for the last 4 years during the pandemic, can I just plug this in, hook it up to Teams and Zoom, and actually have a meeting? The answer now is yes.
Okay, so you could turn it into a Teams room or a Zoom room.
Well, basically, yeah. Then you go, all right, this is kind of where we're at now. Let's take a biamp DSP as an example. And now I want to give the firepower of the system with the AES67 to say, I'm going to give that same firepower I mentioned over there. And I want to be able to say, hey, it's a standalone system, but it's upgrade integratable. So what that means is somebody that sells a system to somebody that doesn't have a big budget can say, you know what? Hey, later on, we might want to integrate.
Okay.
So why don't we then bring in the DSP through AES67, add room audio, displays, document cameras, whatever you want. We're going to give you that firepower later on.
So it's expandable.
Expandable. So end user track, simple, hands-free. And by the way, there's a theme here that's new. Don't touch a button. Everybody's known Televic for, you got to push a button. Nobody wants to push a button in the US. Hands-free, hands-free, hands-free.
So it recognizes when you start talking.
Right,
Okay.
Exactly. So that's new.
So that brought you into the UC world.
That's right.
With your turnkey UCC stuff.
You got it. So this product, as I mentioned in previous calls, it was designed originally for the managed meetings. I want agendas, I want votings and things. But what's interesting is now it's an all-in-one AV appliance. So I have a microphone, speaker, touch panel, built-in webcam, and you go, all right, so cool. Let's go ahead and say, I want to be able to join the meeting here live. All right, so I'm going to take a QR, I'm going to join Zoom, and I'm going to hit it, and I'm going to say, oh, there we are. You know, how you doing,
That's
guys?
really
hey,
cool.
Gary,
Look
how
how
you doing?
fast and easy that was to join that meeting.
Exactly. So I'm sitting here going, I can actually join from here. I can have my squares and Zoom and Teams and flexibility. And people go, this is the new AV appliance that can be totally integrated. And if we could do this on the show floor this fast.
Yeah, I was going to say, on trade show bandwidth, that's pretty impressive.
Well, you know what's ironic too is our wireless system at every trade show is always up and running. We're the only one. So ideally you go, wait, why does that work? Well, that's our 4th generation. We've had a lot of experience. So 75 years, 300 engineers.
And like I said,
it's a good team.
Yeah, and like I said, we're shooting individual product videos on each one of these. There's still one more section here, that's Unite.
Let's go.
Which is your digital wireless system.
So what's really cool about this is a Swiss Army knife of solution. And when I say that is, it's bringing two kind of groups of things together. And I'm going to start with kind of a transmitter pack. So if it's for tours or language interpretation or intercom and things like that, I'm going to take a transceiver and hook up to a receiver just for one-to-many and listening only. Or I'm going to hook up to a receiver with a talkback. You have a choice. You go, talkback? Yeah, questions, bi-directional.
So for example, you're doing like, use it as a tour guide system or something like that.
Exactly. Now, tour guide wants to use this with a headset microphone or a lavalier or a handheld microphone. You go, oh, now we're bringing in a lot of aspects.
So what you're saying is, I'm giving a tour, I'm mic'd, and someone who's in the tour could talk back to me, ask questions. Can that question be heard by everyone as well?
Yes. You can configure it in many ways, and I can have you talking, I can be another person with the group or whatever, but that's tours, right? So hold that for a moment. And then you go, what's this dock? All right, so installations. Now all of a sudden we're talking about how to do simple things like in courts and schools. You put this in a room, and you want to basically say, I want to dock and go. What does that mean? Well, in a court application, let's say you have this everywhere and you need more in courtroom A, you go to courtroom B, grab a device and say, all right, lock it in.
So when you put it in, it syncs.
It syncs to that room, 256 encryption. You have lots of capabilities, flexibility.
So you don't have to do any syncing and just plug it in.
You got it. Or I can select from the device too. Press and go, dock and go. And the last part, you basically now have the capability to add in an access point. So this access point is not only analog, but Dante digital, 4 channels times 4.
So that's expandable too.
So now we brought together a Swiss Army knife of saying, I want installed, I want to be able to have handheld mics, lavaliers, body packs, two-way. All of this is a way to bring 3 budgets into one. So it's like, hey, wait a second. Somebody's putting in something for assisted listening, and they need language interpretation, and they need decked microphone. Well, wait, why can't you just get one system that's kind of mix and match? And that's the Swiss Army knife.
That's the name Unite.
Yeah. We're uniting all of those things together. That's right.
Excellent. So. Again, this is at televic.com. Like I said, we're going to shoot deeper dive videos on each one of these products. So you can see those at raypubs.com/InfoComm, TELEVIC, TELEVIC.com as well.
Yeah.
Peter, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. We got a lot more InfoComm 2024 to cover. Keep watching.
Thank you.